Hello everyone. Welcome to the User of Bricks channel. This is the second part of a two-part little, I guess, series. It's just a part 1 and part 2 for creating trees. The first part, I showed you how to orientate the procedures for generating trees through NBT files. This one is about custom coding a tree, the better of the two options if you're doing a mass amount of trees. So yeah, and this works and gives you a tree. It will be at different heights as well, and yeah, so let's see, can we get another size? Yes, there we are. There's another size. Yep. So now for the custom coded way, there are a few things you will want to have. I am doing this in my Lord of the Rings mod. I have it filtered so that you can see only certain elements, as I do have quite a few. Let me show you that real quick. Yeah, quite a few. What was that? 162. So yeah, olive. And yeah, so for custom coding, the files that you will want, I have moved all of my custom coded files that are not created with, oh, come on, that are not created with the, where is it, custom elements procedure, not procedure, elements. It's an element. It says it right there. Yeah, if they're not created with that, I have put them in another folder outside of your main mod folder. So this one right here that I have, that's Lord of the Rings mod. That's the folder that, if you go into your workspace settings, that's the one that is pointed to right here. So the mod package name. So here it's net mcreator Lord of the Rings mod. So over here, net mcreator Lord of the Rings mod. That's your main package folder. I have moved all of the custom coded files that, again, aren't created with the custom element to a separate folder that I've called mod util. If you don't know how to create a folder, you just click the add button up here, or actually you just click a folder, click add package, and then in here you want to type in all the way from net, so net dot mcreator dot, and then your file name for your extra files, and then you'll have to type in that again for any files lower than that and whatnot. You of course can go through your file browser and add the files in that way, as it can sometimes be a lot easier. Now, what you will want to do is, it doesn't really matter where exactly you put these files. There's 2 files you need to create, actually 3 if you're adding a lot of trees, and those would be in a gen feature folder, a biome folder, and then I have the other one under block trees. As you can see, I've already added a few trees, so I have examples already in this mod. They are also on the GitHub, which you have access to. It should be linked in the description. If it isn't, comment it and I'll add it. So yeah. So to start out, you will want the gen feature. This is the what or how your tree is loaded in. This I have pretty much used the same tree generation as what's created in the biome element that mCreator has done already. It is a wonderful thing to use as a template, and then I tweaked it a little bit. So yeah, I won't go through the all of it. As I said before, this is on the GitHub. You have access to it. So yeah, the changes that I had to make so that this will work for as many trees as you want to create. I had to change this right here. This usually is the base height that you type into the biome element. I changed it to conf.baseHeight. That's from the variable up here, the tree feature config. We'll go into what that is a little later on. All you need to know is that that is very important. And then there is a few other places. Can I see them? Here's another one. So conf.leavesProvider.getBlockState rand block pause. You'll want to add that right there. Here's another conf.leavesProvider. Same thing again, except with a .getBlock at the end. And another one down here for the trunk provider. And it is a getBlockState rand gen h pause. And that is from this position right here. I believe I also changed state. No, I did not. That is a mCreator created one. Let me see if there's any more differences. There might be other differences. So I'd suggest going to my GitHub, and if you want to know how this works, it is very complicated, even for me. So I'd suggest copying this directly into your section, and you can do that by selecting from the extends section and copying all the way down and pasting it in, and just do it that way. This is a rather complicated file. So moving on to the next file you will need. You don't need to go back to your tree feature anymore. The next file is in the biomes folder, or whatever folder you put it in, and it is a default biome features thing. And I put LOTR at the front of it because default biome features, that it actually is a file in the Minecraft file system. And so if you just name your file default biome features, you will get errors. You will get errors. So name it something slightly different, kind of like how I have it, where I have something pertaining to the mod default biome features. Sorry. And this one, it's actually a pretty simple file. You have references to your block state references, I should say, to your log and your leaf. You can do that by just typing in the name of the file that's created alongside your leaf or log block, and then typing .block.get default state. And you will also want this to be private static final. That is actually very important. I would also, if you're adding a lot like I am going to, you need to add, probably will want to add some something like I've done / logs, which is a comment, / leaves, and / features. Features, as you saw before, is the tree feature configs, which actually tell the other file, the first file I showed you, what blocks to use and what height for it to be at, and I have it here what sapling to use. It's a required thing. It doesn't really do anything here, but whatever. And then I've also added in a little bit of a function to make it easier on myself to add in more tree feature configs. And yeah, it's right here. It takes in a block state log, a block state leaf, a block sapling, and an int height. And that adds in this long section of code here. Again, you will probably want to copy it from my Discord, not Discord, GitHub. And yeah, or you can just pause the video here and copy it off the screen. So continuing on, let's add in for my olive tree. So block state, let's name this, what should I name it? Olive log. It's pretty simple. Yeah, so olive log, and I use the same naming conventions for all of mine. So olive, not all. What in the world is that? Log output string. Olive block. Okay, and then leaves fruit, I think. Oh yeah, I have all of my leaves all in one class, and you don't need to worry about that. Don't copy off of my leaves. You can use my olive leaves as a reference, and let's make that capital along with everything else. Olive underscore LEAVES, and then it needs to be a olive leaves block dot block, and that should be good. You will want to, every single time you do this, you'll want to reformat code and imports. That changes a few things. It's not really a big deal. There's just a few things that I prefer looking at a certain way, and that's just how I do it. Yeah, and so next comes up the tree feature config. This is pretty much a configuration for your tree. I bet you could figure out how all of this works. So let's do olive, no, capitals, olive tree config. And fancy tree, that's the type of config, or sorry, that's the function I have down here that enables me to do this a bit faster. So let's go get our olive log. That needs an E. And delete that because we have autocorrect on, or at least I do. You may not, and that's just fine. If you haven't done any custom coding, it'll be on automatically. And then I'm just going to leave the sapling like that, and I am going to leave the heights. Let's actually move it down to 4. And I'll show you what that does in game at the end here. So that is your tree feature config done. This file is pretty much only for that. And that's what this does. This allows easier for your actual sapling file. So let's go to, or actually your actual tree file. So as you can see, I've got the different trees here. Let's create a new one. So let's add a Java class, and let's name it olive tree. So we have olive tree right here, and then I have my reference right next to me, so don't worry about certain things. I'm just going to copy in all of my imports because I don't have to do some different things. I'm going to copy the main bit for the file. Okay, so you want this your tree to extend tree, and that is a vanilla class. And then you want it to be a configured feature, get tree feature, and then random in, boolean in, and then basic LOTR tree feature. That is the first file I talked about. So name this exactly how that file is named, or how you named it. And then with some, what are those, parentheses around at the end, and then a dot with configuration, open up a set of parentheses, and inside type in the name of this second file we talked about, and then dot the name of your tree feature config. If we go back to the default biome features, that would be this right here. So let's copy that and go in here and paste it. And then save both of those files. And that is your pretty much all you need for your tree. Now we're going to be able to actually very easily edit our sapling olive. You'll want to lock the code and then edit the sapling olive block. And you'll see a bunch of things, pretty much all of those you don't need to worry about. Let me bring up my sapling reference. Yeah, so your custom block class needs to extend sapling block. That is the vanilla thing that for saplings, that's what it uses. You want to add that in. Let me see. I have that done. So before your why am I blanking? Block.properties, you can see that right here. This is where we are going to type in the sapling. Why am I... Man, I'm a little slow today. Sorry. You'll want to type in new, and then we need to type in the name of the file that you had as your tree. So for my case, that would be pear tree. Add some parentheses afterwards, and that is actually all you need to do. And where I got pear tree was pear tree right over here, if you couldn't already tell. So now let's load up the game and make sure this is working. And as always, I always get errors, and it's good to view them. Pear tree cannot find simple. That's right. I forgot to go to the code and reformat code and imports. That'll make sure you have the import for your pear tree file and whatnot. Now we should be able to click the run client button, and yep, not a hitch. I will see you in game. Okay, so I found yet another thing that I did wrong. It's nothing on your end, but I typed in pear tree instead of olive tree. So when I tested it, it spawned a pear tree instead of an olive tree. Just a little something. Yeah, in-game. Again. Okay, so here we are in-game, and I made a personal error. I accidentally typed pear tree in the sapling file rather than olive tree. I went back and changed that, and so yeah, here is the olive tree. So if we bone meal it, there we are. We have the olive tree, and it looks like I forgot one thing. That is a bummer. I forgot to put the olive log into a vanilla, what was it? A vanilla tag that made it so that the leaves saw the olive log as an actual log and not just, say, stone or grass or something of that sort. So now if we quit game, if we go in to, let's get the tags I have. So the logs tag. Yeah, so you will want to create a tag along with your other two elements. This is a logs tag. The registry name will need to be logs. The namespace will of course be Minecraft, and the tag type will be blocks. In this tag, you will want to add in all of your custom logs. So I'm going to add in my olive log into this list, save that element, and now my leaves won't decay while they're near the log. And as you saw, the leaves were dropping themselves when they decayed. That's because I forgot, or I chose not to set the drop to something other than itself. You can also set the drop amount to 0. And if you are really fancy and know what you're doing, you can lock the code of the leaf block, go ahead and delete the little section that tells the game what to drop, and then go into your resources data, your mod resource location, and then loot tables blocks, and then the name of your block .json. I have something, I was messing around with the loot table earlier, and this just was to make it so that it would drop the sticks, a fruit, and drop itself if you were using Silk Touch or a shear and stuff like that. I still haven't fully figured that section out. I'll probably make a section on loot tables in the future, so subscribe if you are wanting to get that the moment it goes out, and like the video if you found this helpful, and go ahead and leave a comment down below. Tell me what you thought. Yeah, this has been the User Bricks. I'll see you next time.